everyone, and welcome to Total Packers with Matt LaFleur. Larry McCarren along with the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. And Matt, this week you got the 7-3 Rams who are coming off their bye, but before the bye they had lost 2 straight. It sounds like a very tough customer.
Oh, I'm sure we're going to get their best. There's no doubt. I know Sean very, very well, and Raheem Morris, their defensive coordinator, and I'm sure they've been challenging their team all week. And this is a team that's got a lot of experience, that has played at a really high level. They got a lot of playmakers, so it should be a heck of a game for us.
One of those playmakers is Matthew Stafford at quarterback. How has he changed the Rams, if he has?
There's nothing that guy cannot do. He can make every throw. Obviously, Packers fans have seen him for a really long time in Detroit, and he's got a big-time arm, and he's able to move the pocket and just brings a level of consistency to their offense.
Now, they've got guys like Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, Jalen Ramsey, and then they add Von Miller and OBJ. Have the Rams got more star power than anybody in the National Football League?
It's pretty fitting for LA. There's a lot of great players. It's going to be a great challenge for us, and we're going to have to play our best.
Let's go back, if we could, to the Vikings game. Now, defensively, going into it, you've been playing lights out, up to 3rd in the league, and then you allowed 34 points, over 400 yards. What happened?
Well, we gave up too many explosive plays, and anytime you do that against a unit like that, I mean, you're going to give up a lot of points. Certainly, we knew that going into it, 3rd down was going to be critical, and unfortunately, we didn't have the success that we needed to on defense in order to get them off the grass.
Now, in the rushing game, you allowed 3-1 a carry. Dalvin Cook, the very dangerous Dalvin Cook, just 3-9. Were you impressed with that end of the thing?
Yeah, I thought our run defense was on point, but you're also leaving your pass defense a little bit more susceptible when you are gunning and trying to take away the run. So certainly they took advantage of that situation through the air and were able to get a lot of explosives out of their passing game.
You go into the game as one of the least penalized teams in the National Football League, and then during the game you get hit with 8 penalties for over 90 yards. Was it a case of you guys playing different, or was that game officiated different?
Are you trying to get me in trouble, Larry?
No, I said it. No, you didn't have to.
There's always, that's just part of it, and you never know what's going to get called. Certainly, I don't think our guys played any differently, but unfortunately, we got called for a lot of penalties, and we're going to have to clean up those mistakes.
I got to defend Lucas Patrick. False start for a center when he's just kind of adjusting the snap count. That's allowed, is it not?
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about any of that, and unfortunately, he got called, and so we got to figure out what we need to do differently.
Offensively speaking, 467 yards, 31 points. Do you feel like you kind of hit your stride against the Vikings offensively?
Yeah, it took us a minute to get going, but once we got going, I thought our offense really was operating at a high level. Certainly, Aaron looked really comfortable, especially late in that first half and throughout the entire second half. I thought all our receivers came ready to play. We were getting production from our tight ends and backs, and I thought all in all, our O-line did a really nice job.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up, one of those tight ends, Josiah Deguara. Don't go away. Tell me about your first career touchdown catch.
A little bit of a scramble drill, but obviously excited to get that first one out of the way, a little monkey off my back.
Deguara, touchdown!
Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers, by Bellum Health, and by Johnsonville. Welcome back. This one-on-one is brought to you by Pothole Frozen Pizza from Quick Trip. Josiah, tell me about your first career touchdown catch. It looked like it was not just the way you guys drew it up.
Yeah, it was definitely kind of on the fly in the moment. A little bit of a scramble drill, but obviously excited to get that first one out of the way, a little monkey off my back. So it was a great play. Obviously scrambled to the left, and Aaron threw a great ball. So after that, just had to make a play for him.
Josiah, did you realize at the time you were beating two all-pro type Minnesota Vikings for the ball? And I'm talking Harrison Smith and Eric Kendricks. They were the guys you're competing against. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, those guys are both great players. Obviously watched them all week on film, played against them a couple times. So those guys are great players, love competing against the best. So obviously wasn't thinking about that in the moment, just who's ever in front of me. My mindset is to beat them no matter who it is. Those are two great players, and to make that play at that time in the game, it was a big step for me for sure.
Throws end zone, Deguara,
yes.
Touchdown!
Speaking of which, did you have a bone to pick with Everson Griffin? I mean, he's a heck of a football player, but one time you chip him and knock him to the ground, and another time you drive him like 5, 6, 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. Did you have a bone to pick with him?
No, not him specifically. Just who's ever across from me. Like I said, I try to do my best to win that matchup. So just happened to be him a couple times, but he's a great player, been doing it for a long time. So it's great to compete against him, and to get a couple plays like that, it felt really good.
Now, Josiah, of course, you block and you make catches, and then I see you lining up all over the place. Like if you ran into somebody that knew nothing about football, like say a Martian or something, and you were explaining your job, what would you tell them?
In that situation, I just tell them I can do a lot of different things on the field. Like I said, anything this team asks me to do, I'm willing to do it. But just able to line up anywhere that I can, and hopefully win that one-on-one matchup. I think it's a big part of my game, and I think it's one of my strengths, and just continue to become a good overall player.
Now, Mercedes Lewis is in his 16th season. You are in your second. Can you guys relate? How does that relationship work out?
Yeah, we can relate. We can. He's obviously, one of the greatest players I've ever been a teammate with. It's a pleasure to line up next to him and be in the same room as him, and kind of be like a sponge in that room, especially with anything that he has to give me, any advice or anything like that. But he's a great player. Obviously, it's fun to watch him and be out there. He's a dominant player, so it's awesome to be his teammate.
Mercedes Lewis driving through like a truck.
Now, Josiah, are you following that Cincinnati team at all this season?
Oh, yeah.
I hear they're pretty good. What's the deal?
They should be in the playoff. Let's just say that. They deserve to be in the college football playoff, in my opinion. I've had a lot of different arguments in the locker room with different guys about it. But they're playing great. Obviously, I'm a very proud alumni right now. So obviously, I got a lot of friends and stuff on the team. So it's pretty cool to see them have such success right now.
Josiah, thanks for being with us. Happy Thanksgiving, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Larry. Happy Thanksgiving.
Coming up, this week's Chalk Talk. Don't go away. Welcome back. This week's Chalk Talk is brought to you by Network Health. In professional sports, you're not a hero for playing hurt. You're a hero for playing hurt and well. And that brings us to Aaron Rodgers. And for him, playing well means doing otherworldly stuff. Watched Aaron practice on Friday, and I thought he was moving around rather gingerly, and his whole demeanor said, I'm in pain, and this is no fun. 48 hours later, it's back to otherworldly. Aaron's scanning the field and seeing that the Vikings are getting paid too. Here, and here. Complicating matters, pressure up the gut. Aaron decides to pull it down and go to plan B, and he's on the run, and the Vikings are in hot pursuit. One in front and one behind. Despite all that, Aaron has the wherewithal to see Josiah Deguara coming free downfield. Now let's look at this. We have a right-handed quarterback moving to his left, and he's throwing off his right foot. Now, I don't know if all that is anatomically possible, but what's impossible, unless you're Aaron Rodgers, is to do all that and still throw a perfect pass. Touchdown, Green Bay. On this play, lots of eye candy. Fakes to A.J. Dillon and Randall Cobb, and the Vikings are buying none of it. A couple things stand out. One is Aaron directing traffic downfield. You see him right there? And here's what he's looking at, a double-teamed Davante Adams. And the other thing is that when it comes time to actually throw the ball, Aaron looks to me like a pitcher who's throwing a 100-mile-an-hour fastball without a windup. You see it right there? And that 100-mile-an-hour fastball without a windup is a strike. Otherworldly. On the next play, Aaron Rodgers is thinking timeout, probably because the Vikings have more rushers than he has blockers. But instead, he's getting the football, and now Everson Griffin, the Vikings' 7th all-time leading sacker, has a free run at him. And somehow, some way, Aaron, either with his feet, his eyes, his whatever, he buys just enough time to get the ball off before getting crunched. 385 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and a quarterback rating of 148.4. And the Packers' longest run of the day. Another chapter in the legend that is Aaron Rodgers. Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Network Health, by your Wisconsin Toyota dealers, and by Ticketmaster.
My name is Ignacio Garza. I am a Sergeant Major with 10 Special Forces Group and the Executive Director and Founder of the Special Forces Foundation. Special Forces in general, especially over the last 10 years, has lost more guys to direct combat than the rest of the military combined. We saw some of the most resilient people in the world starting to kind of fall apart. Families were falling apart. We wanted to do something about it, so we decided to start something small, just a small nonprofit run by Green Berets. You got to step up, you got to do something, and we had to take control of that, and that's what we did, and it works. All these lessons that we've learned with leadership, with resiliency, with teamwork, how can we share this with our communities and our country? And that was kind of the idea behind the Elite Leadership Development courses.
Our director of player engagement reached out and asked, was it an experience that I wanted to be a part of? And I felt like that would be something cool to try out.
He didn't really give all the details of what it was going to be, kind of left it kind of vague, but I want to take part in it.
I was a little hesitant at first. He kind of gave us a rundown of what would be going on, hanging out with some guys that served our country and learning about leadership.
Yeah, man, we had a bunch of events.
We had a challenge where we had to make knives, also a shooting challenge with a rifle and pistol.
Land navigation was another big thing, just kind of learning how to work a compass and counting your steps and things like that.
And then we talked a lot about leadership. And then how can they be value added to the organization? Where is their value?
The main thing I learned was their mental approach towards everything. How they go into a mission or how they go into just day-by-day life.
It was a great experience to enjoy with my teammates and to see those guys do things they never done and to go out there and have fun and still compete at the same time.
When we were trying to teach them, they were following instructions to the letter.
That's awesome.
Like, these guys are amazing. And then I realized they've been coached their whole lives.
We were doing everything as drills and tactics and things like that, but they do this for real life, and the stakes are their lives, honestly. So, man, it just kind of puts in perspective the attention to detail that they have, their level of execution and precision.
The things that they've seen, the things that they've been through, the people that they have helped. I can't help but have all the respect for them.
I think it was a great experience, and I think that it's great that those the Special Forces put events like this together and life-changing experience to kind of help people see what they go through.
The sacrifices that the military makes is pretty significant. We do it for a higher purpose. We do it, to be part of something greater than us. We do it for freedom.
We're not always seeing what you guys go through. What you're having to hold on to is, dealing with family stuff and mental stuff and physical things. And I respect you guys, and I just want to say thank you for your service.
Laying your life on the line to protect our country and all the freedoms that we may take for granted at times, but we definitely thank you for all that you've done.
share your support for our military troops stationed both home and abroad by sending a holiday greeting. Make a holiday card and drop off at any Fleet Farm location, the Packers Pro Shop, or mail to Lambeau Field by December 5th. Cards will be collected and distributed to military personnel serving during the holidays. Welcome back. No game balls to hand out tonight, but instead we're going to talk, Matt, about young guys who did good. And let's start with Equanimous St. Brown.
Yeah, I was really proud of the way he played. I thought he did a lot of great things, obviously on the offensive side of the ball, but on special teams as well. And you could really feel his presence in the game, and he's a guy that we need to continue to have come along for us in order for us to be at our best.
EQ, 3 touches at 18 yards per. And next up, Josh Nijman, coming in at a critical time in the ball game for Elton Jenkins.
Yeah, Josh did a great job, and he's continued to just go out there and do his job. And he has all the skills that you look for in a left tackle, and we're going to need him to play big for us against a great LA Rams defensive line.
How about Tipa Naliai on the defensive side? I thought he had something to do with the Vikings averaging just 3.1 per carry.
Yeah, Tipa did a great job. I thought he was flying around, playing with great urgency and effort, and that's something that we're always stressing to our defense, but also just coming up in those big moments. A short yardage stop when they tried to block him with Adam Thielen, and which was not a good idea. But no, Tipa's another young guy that has been getting better and better and better, and we're going to need him to continue that.
All right, coming up, the last word from the coach. Don't go away. Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Fabic Cat, proud sponsor of the Green Bay Packers.
Anybody that knows me knows I am the best cook in the National Football League. Period, point blank. No questions asked. Thanksgiving food, call me.
Favorite Thanksgiving dish, baked mac and cheese.
Chitlins, man. Right. Favorite Thanksgiving dish, corn on the cob. I'm sorry, that was pretty corny.
The last word with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Construction Business Group and Wisconsin Operating Engineers. Welcome back. Time for the last word from the coach. And Matt, I'm kind of a curmudgeon, and I look at the holidays during the football season as kind of a nuisance. I'm sure you're a much better person than I. How about it for you guys and your team? What are the plans for the holiday? Any extra time off?
Yeah, we try to get the guys out of the building a little bit earlier, but we also have them come in a little bit earlier as well. So certainly it's something that you want to be mindful of, making sure that these guys get some time with their family, but we also have a job to do, and we got to get into work.
Now, you were the offensive coordinator for the Rams back in 2017. Have they changed much?
I would say absolutely. They've changed quite a bit in terms of the philosophy defensively. They got new leadership there with Raheem Morris, and then on special teams as well with a new special teams coordinator and Joe DeCamillis, who's been doing it for a long time. I think philosophically, offensively, it's been pretty much the same, but when you add in players like Matthew Stafford, it allows you to do some pretty cool things.
Matt, thank you. Good luck against the Rams, and thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.